Today is 918 day that I'm sharing lessons I learn. I'm learning how this will support your dreams, your goals, allow you to become the person that you want to become. Today I speak about aftershock. Aftershock. So that means a lot of times there is a earthquake on Earth, and after a lot of times there's a aftershocks. In life is exactly the same thing. A lot of times there's something happen, an earthquake, like external thing happens, not because of your problem, not because of your mistake, even though that could be your mistake, but something happens that really moves you. And after that could be aftershocks. Now, a very similar example is that if you throw the rock in the water, there will be a ripple effect. So those ripples will move in the water. And what you're supposed to do when you throw the rock in the water? You're not able to move the water to make it straight. No, you're able to really wait because water will settle down by itself. You don't need to do anything to fix the water, to remove those ripples. And I think that when something happens, when external resources moves in your life, and when you didn't do anything, sometimes probably with you trying to fix those ripples, even though that sometimes we just need to really relax, take your time, and really don't take any action whatsoever because those actions could really move those ripples even more. So today we'll really share what we need to be really cautious about. So when something happens, when external things happens, when there is a mistake that something happened, what you need to be aware of, what kind of aftershocks do we need to go through potentially when we experience some kind of massive mistake in our lives, earthquake that shakes our life. So number one is emotional turmoil. Emotional turmoil. So that means we need to be very careful because when we understand that there is earthquake in our life, in our internal life, that means that it could be a massive emotional turmoil. Again, as I said at the beginning, that when you throw a rock, there will be a lot of waves, and those waves will settle down. So you need to be able to reflect, and of course, not allow that emotional turmoil because it's not your problem. A lot of times, people start to adjust their emotions based on some kind of external thing that happened. Because the first question we need to ask ourselves, do we have control over it? Because a lot of times we understand if we do not have control over it, we're not supposed to have emotional turmoil. So of course, just an easy example is that if it's outside is raining, you're not able to be sad about it because you don't have a control over it. You don't have control over the weather. So that means we need to ask, like, what kind of control do you have, and do you take action based on the things that you have control? So emotional turmoil is not what's supposed to be when something external happens in your life. Number two is strained relationships. That means that a lot of times when really something happens, it might be that it's not your fault, but it might be that it led to some kind of chain relationships. So it means that it could be that other people don't trust each other because something happened. Now, of course, it could be that there was no one's fault. But still, like, there is something happened because those external things that happen, now the relations get strained because of that. I think that we always need to ask, okay, like, do we really need do you really want to have this relation, and what is the reason that we want to have this relation, and why did it happen? Because a lot of times we understand that there was no one's fault that this happened. There's no one's fault, and we understand that there's no one's fault. We understand that we're not supposed to blame anyone, not the other person, not ourselves, and of course keep that relationship. Because at the end of the day, like, there's a lot of times, but something happens in your life, external things that you never guessed that will happen to you, and again, it includes other people as well. Number three is self-doubt, insecurity. That means that a lot of times some kind of failure based on external things that happen could lead to really self-doubt and insecurity. Sometimes we could really not able to really detach ourselves from something that happened from our insecurities. We start to believe that this is who we are, even though that there's external things. Because sometimes we start to internalize external things. And that's a very sad thing when you start to internalize external things that happen not because of your mistake, not because of your fault, But sometimes even when we really make a mistake, we're still not supposed to internalize it. Because we need to understand that we made a mistake because of behavior that we had, not because of who we are. We fail not because of the who we are, but because we failed that we had a bad behavior. So we're not supposed to internalize that failure. Because that will create a lot of self-doubt and insecurity. Number 4 is changes in behavior. Now, again, this is one thing that something external happens. So that means you do amazing job. You're working on some kind of dream. You take a lot of great action. But now external thing makes some kind of adjustment in your life. And now because you start to believe that your behaviors led to that thing. Because a lot of times the things that happens to us is not because of our behavior. So when something happens in our lives, we need to ask, did what we do led to that? Or this is external thing not based on my behavior? So that means that if something happened in your life that came from outside of your world, you didn't influence that. We're not supposed to change our behavior because of that. Because maybe there is no chance it's repeating. So we need not supposed to change winning behaviors because of external circumstances. Of course, we always need to adjust our behaviors. We always need to question our behaviors and really improve those behaviors. But we're not supposed to change our winning behaviors for some kind of external things that happen, not because of your actions. Number 5 is impact on the future opportunities. That means that a lot of times because we potentially failed, not because of us, but because of external things, even because of the team, because it could be that a lot of times it's because of external things. You're supposed to understand that it might be that there will be impact on your future opportunities. And you need to accept that and you say, okay, what kind of impact it will be. And then, of course, we're able to start working to make sure that it doesn't happen. Because at the end of the day, you're able to overcome any impacts if you're willing to work and pay the price. Number 6 is financial repercussions. Now, that means that when there is a mistake, there are potentially lost money because of external things. Now, of course, we need to understand that we're not supposed to jump to very fast conclusions. Sometimes we potentially could jump from one thing to another thing because we thought that this one thing will work, but it doesn't work, and we potentially could, as an aftershock, lose the great opportunity we're working on because we started making wrong decisions, even regarding the finances. Because we start working jobs that doesn't allow us to really pursue the things they want, pursue the opportunities they want, to really make sure that we maximize our future. Number 7 is health implications. So it means if we do not look for ourselves, it might be that the mistake, the external thing that happened to us, will bring us a lot of stress, anxiety. And we need to be very careful to understand it, because as those ripple effects, we need to really allow those ripples to move and settle down. That means we're not supposed to stress about those ripples because they will settle down. But if you allow that stress and you're potentially not sleeping, you're not exercising, you're not eating, all those things could lead to really reducing your physical capacity, your health, because you just allow external thing to influence your health. Number 8 is loss of confidence. That means a lot of times, again, we attach our confidence based on the external things. We need to understand that self-confidence is supposed to be based on self-worth, because self-image, not on external things that happen to you. Because self-image, self-confidence, we're able to attach to who we are and what kind of effort do we do, not on external things that happen to you. Because at the end of the day, it happened not to you, it happened for you. It happened for you. So of course, when you're able to understand that it happened for you, not to you, at that moment you're able to really take something out of that misfortune, rather than really being disappointed and even lose confidence because of that. Number 9 is identity crisis. It might be that some kind of mistake, some kind of a big thing that happened in your life could really have an influence on your identity. Start to evaluate if you really have really great values, great beliefs, priorities. And of course, as I said at the beginning, is that external things that happen without your control. It might be that you do everything right. Your values are great. Your behaviors are great. Your priorities are great. And we're not supposed to change anything. We just keep pushing forward. Because sometimes life challenging us by saying, do you really want to do this? And send some external source to say like, I will throw you this question. How you really want this? Because people really want to quit on their dreams, quit on their identity because of external things. So we're not supposed to allow to do that. Number 10 is social withdrawal. So that means that sometimes we just say that, okay, I don't want anyone in my life at the moment. I want to deal with this. But sometimes it's the worst thing that we can able to do, because that's the most important time that we're able to really be vulnerable and learn how to connect with people. Really, because people are there to support, help. Because a lot of times we need to understand that feeling embarrassed or ashamed, we're not supposed to feel like this, because those things that came from external things made us better, needs to make us better, because it's our choice that external thing could make us better or make us bitter. And I think that when we understand that if we want to make sure that the external thing that happened to us makes us better, of course we want to include other people and be able to ask for feedback. And they potentially could say that, hey, the thing that happened is not your fault. And of course, a lot of times they normalize your struggle. Normalize your struggle. And it's, oh, okay, that means that other people went through the same thing as well. So I'm able to go through as well and really get the best results possible. So today, the main thing that I really wanted to really focus on is that when something happens, serious things happens a lot, it's not based on our control. We need to not internalize that. We need to say, okay, what I'm able to learn, how I could really prevent that maybe in the future if there is something that I can do, but not change your life, who you are, your behaviors, your winning behaviors. Grow yourself, improve yourself, become your best version of you. But don't change who you are internally because of the external things that really questions it. Really puts potentially those aftershocks or ripple effects and start questioning like who you are and why you do things. Because at the end of the day, we need to be very, very resilient in life, because life will send a lot of things to challenge you. And those things will not chosen by you, because a lot of times we choose challenges, we pursue challenges. And some challenges are sent not by your choice. And you're supposed to be okay with that. Because those challenges that you didn't choose, a lot of times brings you the most lessons. And we're supposed to be grateful for that. Because as I said at the beginning, that those things happen for you, not to you. So when you think that way, it's much easier to learn a lesson from that. So I hope you choose to win, and see you tomorrow.